In my first 100 days we did absolutely everything you can do in Grounded and got the best score, going that perfect S. And then they went and added some more updates. So I re-rolled my save and it's time for another 100 days, continuing our adventures. We're going to build a giant museum for all the stuff bugs and my new base, say hello to some brand new ant queens, and get real good at taking on the bosses in Grounded. There's so much to do before we begin New Game Plus. I'm going to have to get more candies, more resources and upgrade all my armor and weapons. Can I do it in 100 days? Watch and find out. Let's go! 200 days of Grounded. So originally I was going to do 150 days of me building a brand new base and having an epic museum with all the stuff bugs and all of the armor sets. At this stage we didn't know a clue about New Game Plus, but I did know updates would come. I was pretty rusty after having a little mini break before starting up my streams and Let's Plays again. Oh my god, missed every single one of them. But I eventually got in the swing of it and just about managed to defeat this one. Oof. Widow dagger crafted, it was time to get even more resources. And a never ending grind for green shell bugs. Don't turn around, cause I wanna see you heartbreaking. I dive into the water on day 102 to pick up as much pond moss as possible before the spiny fleas got me. Another one. Science! We were nearly there in getting the Black Widow set complete. Day 103 I went and killed every spider. Like literally I went and killed pretty much every type and every kind on my quest to get as many spider fangs as possible. Starting with some wolf spiders. Ooh. Don't forget to get your trophies going so you get more parts, especially from the Black Widows. Round 2 I found a lot easier this time. Woo! And still one of the most challenging to me is the infected wolf spider, because that unblockable attack with its explosive damage, although that's been fixed in the latest update. Yay, there we go. Rinse and repeat on 104. I ain't scared of no 8-legged freaks. No retreat, no surrender. Oh my god, there's a wolf spider as well. Oh! Can I get through? No, I can't get through! Get out of here and fight me, bro. That's it. Oh my god! He done me. Oh! There we go. Eventually made it through and we got ourselves the full complete Black Widow armor set. Let's go. Days 105 to 7 I was going ahead and getting my moth gear now. I wanted to see if I could become the perfect cut man and use a huge amount of range damage to take on enemies. First off, killing the moths. Oh, I'm cheating so bad here. There we go. Oh, oh damn it. Ah. And no, you cannot jump in shallow water and expect to survive. Oh my god! Part of the challenge is I'm going to need a ton of stuffed creatures, so I'm going to need all the fuzz. Just want your fuzz. That's all I want. God damn, I'm going to have to kill a lot more. Oh mate, I did not block them. For sure, Cutman build is great for some enemies like the wolf spider, not so much. Hey. Quick trip to the trenches got me the fabled gold card of the Black Ox Beetle. 107 and the All Weavers wanted revenge for me decimating their brothers and sisters the day before, but they didn't succeed. I now needed as many Black Ox Beetle parts as possible to carry on upgrading my armour and weapons. So it was time to dig out the waft emitter. 3 of these guys at once. Oh, fudge you. Oh, no. I should never have come here. I've elected the way of pain. Oh my god, I shot the rock. I shot the rock. Oh no, I've used up my explosive ones. I hadn't actually meant to summon this many. I was definitely finding it a challenge. Whoa. I thought this guy was dead. I thought this guy was honestly dead. Ooh. Oh! I pulled myself from the water and took care of the last remaining few. Ow! Ow! It burns! It burns! Okay, maybe I had a little bit of help from the stink bug. Ooh. Quick pit stop for some more smoothies, and then I went down the trenches one more time to see if I could find some more naturally spawning Black Ox beetles. You need so many of these horns. I really wish there was another bug part that we could use to upgrade our weapons. Rinse and repeat day 8 and 9. Yes, we've got a horn! We got a horn! Oh, we didn't get a horn that time. Oh. The undershed is still a very dangerous place no matter how many L's you've got in grounded. You like that? Oh, do you like that? I like this too. Oh, you sucker. Let's go. Oh! Didn't think it'd be a good idea to take on some Black Widow spiderlings. Where? Come on. Oh! Just one. Well, don't get hit. I had loot luck and steel on, but I seemingly wasn't getting as many as I wanted. Alright, we'll take that. I've got one horn. Okay, got one Black Ox tool. Go on, lad. Have it up. And after 3 days nearly of straight killing creatures, I was pretty much done. Cocoa melon. Yeah, let's go. I did not think we were that close to 100 likes. I can see all sharks. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, mummy shark, do 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 do. Mummy shark, do 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 do. Mummy shark, do 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 do. Mummy shark. I stupidly said if a video got to 100 likes, I would sing Baby Shark. I'm true man on my word. Apart from some base sorting, that's what I did on day 110. More bug killing and more resource gathering on day 111. And more of a focus on getting candies as I began day 112. Why? I needed as much candy as possible to craft some more mage gear, and I got lucky in getting a spicy charm. Then over to the rubbish for more candy scouring before stopping off and adding more to my sap farm. Oh baby. Gotta go Wizard's Jewel, right? Oh yeah. Ooh yeah, go on, level 9 it. I wanted to test out my battle mage idea as well and see if the Black Ox gear could still complement the Wizard's hat. So let's go ahead and make the mint one. Ooh, but we kind of, I still haven't got a lot of brittlestone either. So I'm going to get all the staves up to level 5. But here's where I'm probably going to go, no, we'll just choose the most powerful for the moment. I'd crafted the Frost Staff and the Sour Staff. It was time to go and test it out and see how good of a mage it was. They had changed blocking recently in an update and I was finding it really difficult to kill and take on so many of the creatures. No, again, oh my god, I'm getting owned. Eventually I got good. Oof. It's such a shame we never got a complete armor set for the mage building grounded. It would have been really cool to see what kind of effects they could have added to a full sleek set if we had the full outfit, robes and maybe some crazy slippers. And by the end of day 113 I finally had enough to craft the spicy staff. Day 14 much the same, killing bugs, getting as many candies and resources as possible. Oh, thank you. The pure power of using the spicy staff on wolf spiders is immense. Definitely some of the best effects I've seen in any game, let alone just grounded. Pretty much the rest of the day was spent on the rampage taking out these guys. Oh mate. Eventually though my wizard's helmet got broke and it was time to return home. After a good few days of slaughtering bugs with magic, it was time to do a bit of a refit. Next 4 days I pretty much spent rejigging my castle, making it a bit more open and giving myself my very first elevator shaft. Admittedly not the best one, but I now had a bit more easier access upwards. Before rounding out with another trip and another farm of wolf spider parts. I needed so many of these fangs to upgrade so much of my armour. As well as a quick stock up on charcoal, we need a bunch of this for eventually all the cement walls I'll be using to help defend against New Game Plus. Good soak in the hot tub to finish the day off too. 119 and a return to the termite den to see if I could get enough materials from the king to craft the chest piece. I tried going a bit more of a ranged route using my salty arrows and the wasp armour, but it definitely was taking long, especially with the aim being quite off for some reason. I promise I'm a better shot than I'm showing right now.
Oh! 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 Oh my god! Oh no, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. I forgot.
I forgot I had Apex Predator on using the wasp bow and got the fright of my life with that wasp appearing. After that I decided to go down the magic route and see if I could get a lot of rebounds, but the sour stuff was okay, but not the best. Finally made my way through the hundreds of termites before taking on the king once more and carrying on my range build. Mainly because it's the best way to go ahead and cheese. As long as you don't destroy all of the actual splinters, you can keep him there for a while you just pepper him with arrows.
Whoa!
Grab the carcass and then a quick return to base to craft the new chest piece. Closed out day 119 with some magic use again and the grind for more of the wolf spider fangs. Honestly, the game gets so grindy needing these particular bug parts and the black ox beetle horns, it does become a bit of a drag. That's so much of your day. If you want to get every armor set and fairly upgraded, then you're going to have to do this. Although I guess not everyone is going to necessarily need every armor set. The quest system had recently been added and I was taking full advantage of building up my raw science. Day 120, more sap, more using magic to kill spiders and getting more upgrades. Some prep for heals and I was off to go ahead and take on the broodmother on day 122. In fact, this would start the beginning of a 3-day epic battle where I would fight the broodmother over and over again using various different tools and builds.
Okay, here we go. I'm not confident in this, people. I'm not, because honestly, I'm not that great at blocking. Oh shit, that's not a great start.
It turns out there was an actual bug with blocking using staves, which was making my job a lot tougher. But the power of the spicy staff against the broodmother was pretty epic.
Oh! Oh!
I forgot that she becomes resistant to actually spicy damage about halfway through the fight, so it wasn't as effective, but I was unlocking more of my Whittle Wizard mutation. It was a lot of fun experimenting though for sure, taking on the broodmother with various different weapons.
Yay!
I went home and crafted the stuff version so I could get more loot luck and get even more pieces, and returned once more to try taking it on with the frost staff. They're pretty resistant against frost magic, so it probably wasn't the best idea, but I persevered.
Come on. It's not hitting me at all from up there. Hooray!
Next up was the turn of the sour staff, and this definitely did a lot of damage, but it was quite hard to take on some of the adds once they started spawning. You've got to have pretty good aim to hit them directly on, otherwise you'll end up getting overwhelmed.
Whoa! Whoa! Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
In the end I had to rely on Old Faithful digging out the katana as I simply wasn't making any progress.
I would have felt much more confident in this if I had my wizard's helmet fully done. Ah, come on!
But I was struggling even with that, realising I didn't have the right build. In the end I reverted back to the spicy staff as it done the job.
Oh! Oh! And I got a gold card as well! Whoa!
I really wanted to try one more time though. Could I defeat the broodmother with all 3 staves? I eventually managed to do it.
Come on! No! Big one, big one, big one, big one! Fire! They missed it again! Yes!
I pushed my luck a 4th time, just a bit too much. With my armour breaking and running out of heals, I got done. Of course I wasn't just doing it for fun, I was looking for more parts to craft the Mother Demon armour. With my final attempts being to see if I could defeat her with her own pieces, armour and the actual club of the Mother Demon. And I gotta say, it worked out pretty well. The club of the Mother Demon, while upgraded, definitely does a lot of damage. Not too sure about the poison abilities since the broodmother's pretty resistant, although not against venom. But the same problem was happening. The Club of the Mother Demon wasn't doing enough damage to so many different adds, and I got done again. But now, armed with a bit more patience and certainly making sure I was healing properly, I took them all out and finally defeated her with her own gear.
Come on! Yes!
I had plenty of now broodmother parts to make the kebabs, needed to take on multiple mantises, and that would be something for the future. Days 25 to 29 was more home improvements, more grinding resources, and thinking about the different armor sets that I would need to complete. We needed the fluffy pupa hat, and eventually we'd have to pick up all of the black armor. But I was getting another raid. Again, all the spiders were unhappy, as I'd probably murdered their mum about 5 times. So the Black Ant armor set needed a lot of B-fuzz, and it was a trip to the table to take on as many as I could with my Cutman build.
Oh, mate.
Range build isn't so good though when facing against the orcs, which were annoying me no end, attacking pretty much any time I went out on a roam.
Oh!
Eventually made it back and got my revenge. I'd done it though. I got enough resources now to craft a Black Ant armor set. It's always just been a little bit weak, and you kind of bypass it as there's so many better armors, although it has had a few changes in the last year. But it just simply isn't good enough at this stage of the game for me, and I don't still recommend getting it. I think you could easily skip it and go for other armor sets.
Come on.
You're meant to get a critical chance to do after blocking, but it's only a 1% extra chance, so it's pretty worthless. And in the end it was becoming a liability taking on just some of these guys. Sick of killing spiders, I went and decided to kill a bunch of Black Ox beetles with the good old pinch whacker. I now had enough to go ahead and craft the Black Ox armor set, and that was another one ticked off the list. And for now, goodbye Black Ant armor, you have been utterly useless. Day 28, the update 1.3 arrived with loads of playground stuff, including the brand new basketballs. So I took a break from all the killing and tried my hands at some hoops. I don't think I'm going to be drafted to the NBA anytime soon.
Oh! Yes!
I pretty much messed around with more of the decor items the next day. Peeping Trudy, the koi, was now a thing. And I finally took a look at the quest list itself, which would come in handy later for some more filler stuff to do. And I finished off day 30 with a raid from the ants. There was over 99 quests added as part of Burgle's missions. I was trying to get through as many as I could on day 31. And the usual grind for resources, taking on more bugs to get more ovens, as I was going to be cooking up even more mushroom bricks for later.
There we go.
And another IWS kill on day 31 too.
Yes!
Spent quite a bit of my raw science on duping much needed upgrades like the jewels, and had some fun with the bright light that comes on at night time by the oak tree. Day 32, more candy runs, more scarab runs, and I had enough resources now to start upgrading my broodmother armor set.
Boom! Oh, I got a gold card as well. Nice.
Always good getting a cheeky gold card, as I completed another one of Burgle's special markers. These replaced the previous ones that you'd have to build out of resources yourself. I'm rounding off the day with my bard bow getting upgraded. Days 34 to 41 were a blur of me basically redoing the waft emitter over and over again. Starting out with simple bugs like red ants and seeing how many parts I could get just by putting the minimum in. The real focus was on the raw science you got as a reward, another new feature of 1.3 that you can now get tons of raw science by defeating all these bugs. Not the best place to build it, I just wanted somewhere away from my castle just in case, but the stink bugs were causing me issues. So I started building up some defences around the waft emitter as well as my chest full of bug parts. Another cheeky gold card, the infected mite this time, and then just racking up smaller amounts of raw science with wave after wave of different bugs. Some creatures are definitely worth it more than others, particularly with the challenge, but the sour battle axe being so goated really made quick work pretty much on every bug using it. And yeah, I know Black Widows and Black Ox Beetles, giving waves of them is guaranteed to get me lots of the parts I need and more raw science, but I was still just going through a lot more bug parts. There wasn't really any guidance on exactly how much raw science you got for each wave and what was the most cost effective, and that's what I was really testing out over these 7 days. But Lord help me, Black Widows are still a bit of a challenge, especially with their new attack where they summon a baby Black Widow that can heal them if they eat it. On day 138 I briefly stopped to go and check out the mysterious door.
Oh, it's definitely a sort of weird sound. That's a rift, if ever there was a rift sound. The Rift Exploratory Squad, people.
Would my theory be true that we might come across what is given to us as info when you defeat Director Schmetter? Some sort of Rift Exploratory Squad? Probably not. Back to the grind with the waft emitter on day 39 and started ramping up even more of the bug parts, putting in as many ant parts as possible with the fire ants. Little top up needed of my defences before maybe going a bit too mad with the Black Ops beetle parts, as I had to take on like 10 of these guys.
And they've got 700 raw science.
But it was day 41 that I really had just so many of them spawn, and I was surprised I managed to defeat them. But honestly, they get in each other's way, and I filled up the crevice with the dead bodies of my fallen foes. This is where you got to combine and make sure that if you're doing this kind of thing, you've got an arena specially built with all of your stuff bugs to make life a bit easier than having these creatures be summoned, and so that you can get more resources from them as well. I'm making massive gains in raw science, completing some of the quests and getting it from the actual waft emitter. After the relative ease of taking on so many different bugs with my sour battle axe, I needed a bit more of a challenge, and that's what we did with day 42, taking on the mantis once again. Similar vibe as taking on the Broodmother, I wanted to use its own weapons and armour set against it. Turns out it doesn't do that much damage and certainly wasn't my favourite.
Oof! Wow! Wow! Wow!
So back to familiar territory using the salty mace and a good shield. I do remember getting absolutely owned by the mantis the first few times I ever tried taking it on, but I was definitely getting better. But the sour battle axe was coming in clutch again. Just look how much damage I was doing with my hits and the abilities of the glow gloop trinket that I managed to get from one of the firebugs during one of the waft emitter raids. Honestly, a goated combination, definitely worth the grind in killing so many of them, see if you can pick it up. Only has a 1% chance of dropping, but it made short work of the mantis.
Ah! Yes! Okay. Wow. Sour battle axe.
I had more fights to come, but I realised I didn't actually have all of the mantis armour set, so I quickly went back and crafted what I needed. And prepped for the future by crafting the stuffed bug version 2 and doing some more duping, especially of the mantis heads, as they're obviously such a low drop when fighting it. And more importantly, we had the pieces that we would need for our museum. Next 2 days it was the turn of the Was Queen. A formidable fight. I wasn't looking forward to doing this over and over again. I didn't really try bothering too hard with using her same materials to fight her. I went straight for the sword and the mantis gear, seeing if it would do any good. For sure, when you can get close, the salt mace is pretty goated, but just got to remember to stop and take care of her minions. But in the end I had to switch over different armour because it just simply wasn't cutting it with the mantis gear. But eventually I whittled her down and took her out.
Nah, fam. That is some bullshit right there. That stamina regen is awful.
And yeah, I had a little moan about the stamina regen effects of the Was Queen. Round 2, would I do any better with range, having a fully upgraded crossbow, or at least close to it, and obviously my Cutman gear, which I've been using quite a lot and I was enjoying. The secret as always is salty arrows, and then switching over to the salt mace when needed. Once I crafted the Queen stuff bug, I then went ahead and made the Marion hat, which I never really used that much of. Back to the grind of killing more bugs to get more parts to make more stuffed creatures and the trophies, as well as pick up even more raw science. Also started setting up more of the zip lines all around the yard to make things a bit easier to get back and forth. For some stupid reason I decided to put all the stuff bugs in my front yard when I was obviously going to be moving them to another location. If you didn't know, my base was going to be on top of the Brawny Boy bin box. So I was going to scope that out soon once I'd got more duping done on day 149 and took care of some more was on the way home. My original plan was to go ahead and get all of this done by day 150, but with the new updates adding obviously the quests, I thought I could stretch it out to 200 days. and I blatantly hadn't even thought about actually what I was going to build in terms of the museum. Always though, the quest for getting more of the stuff bugs and the stuff needed, like obviously the fuzz from bees and the dust mites. Day 151, it was time to head up to the Brawny Boy inbox after finishing off some more of my stuff bugs. Took a whole day to pretty much get the resources and then build up to it. Have you guys ever been up here? Did you realise there are 2 green shield bugs that you could take on? And yes, my face has made an appearance as I'd forgot to turn it off when I was streaming this. And you can go and watch every single aspect of this pretty much in either streams or Let's Play videos if you want to see more of my adventures in detail. Now these guys don't respawn generally unless it's a new game plus, so don't panic too much about actually building a base up here. You won't have to deal with them constantly. Although this guy actually decided to jump off the side of the box rather than face me anymore. But there was no escaping me, green boy. Day 152, I surveyed all the bugs that I'd already accrued. Definitely needed a few more, but we was getting close. Some more grind for candy and more grind for the fuzz. 153 to 155, it was again just that candy grind, picking up as much as I could from either lying around on its own or inside some of the chests. I even went all the way to the northeast to pick up as much of the mint candy as I could, as that was the one I was the most short on. Also picking up more of the pond moss, which I really didn't have a lot of. But I was definitely starting to feel now a lot more of my candy reserves, but I definitely still needed more of the sturdy and the supreme rocks. Raids at this stage are a real pain in the butt, and I got attacked by a ton of mosquitoes, which were pretty difficult. It made me think about my next base, the museum, which would be my new base as well, having proper defences to easily take out some of these guys. At this stage, lots of stuff was being revealed about the next update for the Yoked, and we knew that we would be facing off against remixed yards. Although we thought it'd just be regular New Game Plus, I knew I'd have to have lots of defences around the mixers, as that was going to be a key component of getting through the door. So days 157 to 162, that's what I effectively did, in between gathering some more resources like the scarab shells. Using a ton of my cement resources, we made and built better protection for the free canisters, as we'd be doing these over and over again in New Game Plus. And of course, finally add in some of the pinecone rooftops too, to give that extra protection against the airborne creatures. Lots of spike traps around, and then I started laying out even more mushroom walls. With just a quick pit stop for another burgle flag pole. I definitely had Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings in my mind as I built another cement wall to go all around. Day 163, it was again time to go and take on some of the bosses. Again, needing lots of practice to take on the 3 creatures that we'd have to defeat. The Was Queen, the Brood Mother and the Mantis.
Oh, died already.
Although once again the goo trinket was coming in clutch, really making a huge difference, and I recommend it for pretty much all bosses. I had one more go and then I decided to build my special arenas. Unknowing at this point we would be able to get teleporters, I figured I'd be able to set these up straight away in New Game Plus. Little would I know that wouldn't be the case until New Game Plus 2. But still would come in handy having somewhere with all of the necessary stuff. If I wanted more damage attack, having the trophy up. If I wanted the stuffed creature, getting more loot, that would be also a good point to have it right here. It took a full another day on day 164 to finish this off, but I was pretty happy with the results. We were ready for the Broodmother in New Game Plus. 165, the same again, but this time with the Mantis once I dealt with another raid of Orb Weavers. It's funny that every time I go and kill their mum, they seem to want revenge. But the same deal, build in a small area, making sure I had all of the stuffed or at least trophies ready to do more damage anytime I need to go and fight the Mantis. And then just more practice as much as I could get taking on the creatures themselves, this time with the Sarlacc and the Giddy Goop again being really good. This time I was getting tons of trinkets. 3 out of 5 boss fights I managed to pick up the Mantis trinket. Maybe a little bit more experimentation again with certain weapons just to see how they would do. But I forgot how goated the spear can be. Although not maybe the best weapon for the Mantis, I still love this thing. Before switching over to my fresh scimitar. So always make sure you've got the mutations correct every time you go and loot a body. Get you more chance of getting them boss trinkets, which do seem to have had a boost, so you've got more chance of getting them, as they used to be only 1% chance. There's definitely a lot more with loot luck. But for sure the Giddy Goop is my new favourite trinket. It just slows down the enemy attacks so much, it makes things a lot easier. And then the last fight completely ranged using my upgraded crossbow. How many trinkets have you managed to get from bosses, and have you got boxes filled of all the others like me? Let me know. Days 166 to 171 I had some special guests join me. We were hyping up the release of Fully Yoked Update, and big troopers in the grounded scene like Paralyzer and Mother Chudders came and helped me grind for resources, as well as Max Fox Gaming and Tiny Pirate Gaming, Twitch streamers that have been a big part of the grounded community. You'll find links to all of their channels in the comment section down below. Go and check them out and check out the streams we did where they helped me. I was also joined by I Am Jade, but we ended up doing some playground levels. You can check out that stream too, but it was still nice to have some of my friends come and help me grind, as I realised I was still really short on a bunch of resources. I put Max Fox and Tiny Pirate Gaming to their good uses, as they're pretty expert fighters, so we went and took on the Was Queen. It was really tough with multiple players. It's the first time I've actually taken on a boss with other people, as I'm usually such a solo guy when it comes to grounded. We really weren't massively prepared, especially the other guys.
One, come on. Yeah. Yes.
Just about defeat the Was Queen a few times. It was really crucial to get as much prep as I could, making sure I had enough of the muscle sprouts to go ahead and make the best beefy smoothies. Although maybe I should have still kept my diving equipment. Even a pro like me forgets how dangerous the water can be. And then Mother's Chudders and Paralyzer helped me gather even more resources and take on some of the toughest bugs in the northeastern part of the upper yard. 171, and I was doing the final repairs to my base just in case something crazy happened, as the update was about to go live that day. Grounded's last ever content update, and the secret door was opened. Inside was a mysterious note detailing that remixed yards were a thing. You'd be able to replay Grounded's main story, picking up burgle chips and then finding new enemies to fight, as well as infused bosses and creatures. It was going to be a tough experience, and I still felt like I wasn't 100% ready. So although I did play some New Game Plus, I ended up reverting the save because I felt like I lost a lot of progression in a rush to show stuff off. Proper toasted. No, wait, we've got still much to do. Yup, pretty much go and take care of some ant queens. Unusual, I know, but I did really want to make sure I was doing all the right things. So we did that indeed. I went and took care of the first ant queen. The new ones that had been added, giving them a special treat would give you a reward. Or you could choose to poison them, or in the case of the first red ant queen, infect them. And that's what I did, finding the mysterious note recipes inside the Haze laboratory. You're only able to go ahead and infect one of the ant queens in a regular game mode, and the note for that is in the pipe as you lead into the Haze lab. Then it was back to base to craft the juicy mushroom sandwich or the infected version that I picked up. It's a big choice to make. You can choose to be friends with all the ant queens and you'll get the ant hum mutation, which means they won't hurt you again, any of the ants. But infecting them now left a ripple in an alternate dimension and basically gave me access to infected weapons the next go. Also gave me access to the sausager, where I could craft trinkets, giving me new abilities, which you can check out some of my guides to see explain more. The infected root does obviously kill the ant queen, so you still get all the ant parts, and it meant I could craft a new red ant strategist set, which was meant to be an extra summons build. Not gonna lie though, I didn't really find it that great. The scepter itself, it gives more health to your summons, but it's pretty weak as a weapon. And for a short time there was an OP build due to some balancing issues that meant summons were pretty OP, but that quickly got nerfed. Day 175, it was time to go and take care of the Black Ant Queen. This time we was going to need some recipes for a gum sandwich and a poison one too, which meant a trip to the Black Ant lab, obviously as you might expect, before fighting for my life from a whole ton of ant lions before I made my escape and crafted what we needed back at base. I had a big decision. I couldn't infect her, so was I going to be friendly or poison her to get the tier 2 black strategist set? Decided to think about that a little bit as I went and got more resources, and remembered there was a brand new trinket also added, and also the mystery of the 5th teenager finally solved. This is the mystery solved once and for all. That's the trinket, and that's the note. Dear whoever, no idea what's going on. I woke up with 4 other kids in a giant lawn. I tried to wake them, but they're super zonked out and honestly seem better off tucked in that box for now. All I know is there's little huts with too many computers, not enough snacks. Spiders are hunting me. I need to find us a safe place. He's dead, kids. He's dead. I don't want to hear any more talk. Oh, but maybe he survived and like maybe the spiders put him in a web somewhere and maybe he's just hanging around or... You know, he's not really dead. No, that is dead. That is solving the mystery of why there's 5 character slots, which is basically just a mistake from Obsidian. I'm pretty sure they've said that a bunch of times. But on second thoughts, was that true? Obviously, the trinket is meant to help you escape from spiders, so maybe the 15 does live on somewhere. What do you guys think? After a quick morning clearing out more of the quest, killing all weavers with their spicy nemesis, I decided to let the other ant queens live, and we was going to craft a nice treat for the black ant queen. As this was stage 1, this would mean the red ants would actually leave me alone from now on, the soldiers. And if I wanted the second stage for the black ants, the soldiers, to leave me alone, I'd have to go and be friends with the fire ant queen and hopefully capture that third one in the next New Game Plus. As usual, I picked up some pheromones as a reward and I got myself a baby pet ant. I renamed him Baby Para and scanned the pheromones to get the tier 2 repair tool and more decor. Day 177, it was time to start moving all of my stuff from my old base to the new location where eventually I would have a mega museum and castle. Along the way, another raid incoming from larvae after decimating so many of them earlier. And then a pretty long job of disassembling all my stuff bugs to carry them quicker and easier up to the Brawny Boy bin box. I set up more zip lines on day 178 to the boy bin box to make things a bit easier, gathered more candies, and then went and nabbed the fire ant queen treat from the fire ant hill. Before finishing the day, getting another burgle flag on top of the sandcastle. 179 to 183, a whole mixed bag of all sorts, getting more quests filled, taking advantage of a bug where it had so many food drops from the ants in the ant hills, and days of making sure I had new pathways to things like the field station near the Brawny Boy bin box and mixer, and a better stairway, as it was going to be a while, like I said, before I got the teleporters. I really had wanted them in New Game Plus 1, but I was going to need also a ton more raw science to buy them in New Game Plus 2, where they're actually available to buy. It took a while, but I was pretty pleased with the results of my epic staircase up to the box. Day 184, it was time for some more epic parkour as I tried to get to one of the highest and toughest burgle flags from the brick wall all the way over to the east. I wanted to see if I could get on top of it from the lawnmower, maybe building some mushroom bricks, but there was nowhere to place them. In the end, I went to where the gun was, where you find the key for the under tire, and built myself a weird staircase on top of them. I know I could have just parkoured up the branches, but I always found it pretty tough, and I wanted something a bit new, and also take a look at some old Easter eggs. It's been a long time, Mr. Potato Chef. I always thought we'd get some sort of update or DLC that might take us to the garage station, but sadly no, maybe in Grounded 2. I found the perfect spot to drop down and raise the flag. I only had one more of these to go and I've completed every single flag. And since I was in the vicinity, I decided to jump over to Moldok's castle. Did you know you can get onto it with this method using a glider and actually going under the castle and then climbing up? Just need a few mushroom bricks to get on top of the lip. A few tiger mosquitoes later and I did it. The final burgle flag done. Woo! On returning home, I had another raid for more mosquitoes, but this time a big issue. There was a bug and some of the creatures were invincible and they wouldn't stop attacking my base, meaning I had a literally raid for about half an hour of them just demolishing my castle. Now I was planning to leave anyway, so it wasn't the end of the world, but it still kind of pissed me off a little bit that all my good work was being destroyed by something I couldn't kill. Thankfully it did get fixed about a week later, but yeah, mosquitoes can screw off. I tidied up the wreckage of them horrible mosquitoes and carried on dismantling the rest of my stuff that would be taken over to my new base. I needed toenails for my next treat for the fire ant queen, so I grabbed them on day 86 as well as carried on getting more stuff. Tasty toe jam sandwich. Day 87 I went and got myself the trinket, the sticky fingers from the toolbox, and then went and gave the treat to the fire ant queen. Now I had 2 baby pet ants.
Yeah, yum, yum, yum. Boom! Complete Burgle's list of quests. Get in, baby.
And yep, I'd done it. I'd finished all the quests in Burgle's list, 99 of them.
That's it.
Top tip, don't bother taking any fire ant eggs home. You can't craft or do anything with them, and they'll pretty much just start hatching in your base and start demolishing stuff. Grab the pheromone and go ahead and trash the eggs. Day 88, I went and scanned the pheromone, and this gives me access to the very specific fire ant staff, which is pretty cool to fire, I'm not going to lie. Made some new homes for my pet ants, and then went and really tested out the new stave against some of the creatures in the upper yard. Collected some of the last big 500 raw science that I'd left, and more dismantling and carrying stuff to my new base. The last one of the night, I got a big surprise.
Whoa! They must have hatched.
Yep, like I warned you, the fire ants, they had all hatched, even though I put the eggs in the fridge, which was kind of weird, but hey ho. Once I took out the pesky intruders, it was time for a good sleep and beginning day 190. Which began with more starting to fit out and plan my base, and also more of the stuffed bugs. I wanted to do this now, so I had a shopping list of any of the bug parts that I would need, as I definitely knew some were missing. Day 191, picking up all the rest of my armours and transferring them, and more of that candy grind, having known now that I would need so much of it to make some of the new weapons and get all my upgrades. I needed a lot more than I'd originally planned, as well as more advanced materials like lint. There were so many stuffed bugs, and I definitely still needed more of the fuzz from the dust mites. But I'd pretty much done it, only a few more bugs to go, and I definitely knew I'd be able to pick up the stuff for that easy. One last trip to get some muscle sprouts, mixing things up with the last few days and having another boss battle. Hopefully you've seen, and maybe heard at least from the intro to this video, that in the first 100 days, the culmination was taking on the infected broodmother and completing everything 100%. Now I didn't need to kill her, as she wasn't part of the requirements for New Game Plus, and I'd obviously done it and opened the door already. I felt like I definitely needed some practice, as I wanted to kill all the creatures in New Game Plus, so why not get refreshed now, even though it would be a lot easier this time, surprisingly.
Oh, okay, forget it. I'm not rushing to explode it. Ah! Come on, I blocked that! I'm not hearing the ping as much. There we go.
I was actually finding it tough, but not as tough as it used to be. I swear they've nerfed her a little bit and made her easier since the last time I fought her. Again, maybe it's just the giddy goop, it was really helping me out slow down the attacks. I definitely recommend it for everyone if you're having trouble taking on the IBM.
Yes! Yes!
Whoop whoop, I did it again! I really needed this, as I was still trying to craft all the armour sets and make sure I had enough to go ahead and get all the stuff bugs too.
They've made that easier. They've made that easier. Like, I missed a lot of perfect blocks there and stuff, but they definitely made that easier.
And we were pretty much done. I only had 6 days now to go ahead and build an epic base. Cue the montage and some grounded theme music. Let's go. And there we go, I did it. I maybe didn't have time to set out all my armour on the armour stands, as I really did want to get to the remixer before the end of day 200. And I still think I need to get the infected broodmother full armour set unlocked, because I just hadn't killed it enough and I used so many of the pieces for the stuff version. But I was pretty happy with the result. All the stuff bugs pretty much here, except maybe some of the ant queens, all the furniture, all the trophies, and plenty of space to put lots of weapons and them armour sets once I get myself sorted, which will probably begin day 201. It took me a huge amount of time to build this, but I was really running against the clock, so there are a few things I still want to improve eventually. I didn't want it just to be a museum that I'd never go past or use, so I did try making sure that I did have the armour stands next to the appropriate stuff bugs, meaning I'd have to go and visit anytime I wanted to swap in or out. And of course to get the buffs and bonuses that you get from the stuff bugs and the trophies. Ended up having 3 floors, with the first 2 floors being the main parts of the museum and the stuff bug collection, and then the top floor being my penthouse. I tried building a nice atrium so you could look down on a mushroom garden, but again the mushrooms hadn't grown as I forgot to plant them too soon. So you'll see that again once we start up the next series of Let's Plays and live streams. And yep, only one of the stuff ant queens, because I haven't actually got the pieces from the other 2 as I befriended them. There's something else to add to our museum and give us some content other than just try and survive against all the infused bugs in New Game Plus. So thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and if you watched the first 100 days, even better. It's been a wild ride. I've covered Grounded for 4 years across 2 of my channels. We've got 25 million views on Grounded now. Epic amount of subscribers, and you guys just giving me lots of encouragement. Hopefully I've helped you with lots of videos. Grounded is done now in terms of content, but we've got Grounded 2 to look forward to, which 100% I'm guaranteeing is arriving, but it may be some time. So I'm going to enjoy New Game Plus. We're going to struggle, I'm sure, but we're going to see if we can get there. I did contemplate where to put my crafting area, and it still probably needs a lot of work, so I don't have to keep running back and forth every time I want to do something. But I really enjoyed the pictures that I put up, all 134 of them I do believe. Even had the space for my pets. That's another thing we still need to do, get us hold of the other creatures and not just the baby ants. But pretty much in the best place possible for hopefully conquering and taking on all the infused bosses in the next New Game Pluses. How far do you think I can get in 100 days? Let me know in the comment section, and let me know what you're looking forward to about Grounded 2 in the future. Now there's just one thing I might have forgotten. Oh, that's right, starting New Game Plus. Let's go. There we go, day 200. Let's go, baby. Let's go into New Game Plus. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Here we go! Whoa. So there we go, we've done it. Now comes the hard part. Can I survive another 100 days in New Game Plus? We'll have to see. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you to all my regular rat bags and the commenters. I'm going to try and make sure I'm more regular with my Let's Plays and these live streams going forward. Let's go.